Next, working back muscles is a tough thing to do without equipment, but we can do something called Supermans. These are going to target the muscles in our backs, our latissimus dorsi muscle and our rhomboid muscles, and all we need to do is lay on the floor. Let me show you. Lay on your belly, put your arms straight out in front of you, and your legs straight behind you. All you're going to do is use your back muscles and your core muscles to lift both your arms and your legs at the same time without bending your elbows and without bending your knees. Let me show you. Just like this. But what you're going to do, every time you lift your arms and your legs, you're going to hold for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, back down. 1, 2, 3, back down. And you'll do that for the allotment of the 25 seconds. So this is going to be where the soccer ball comes into play. Now you don't have to use a soccer ball. You could use a basketball, a volleyball, a football. You could even use a shoebox, or if you have some stairs at your house, the bottom stair works perfect as well. Let me show you how to do this. You're just going to set the ball on the ground. Put 1 foot on top of the ball and 1 foot on the floor. What I'm going to do is jump. I'm going to jump with both feet up in the air at the same time and land at the same time, but when I land, my feet are just going to switch places. This foot that's on top of the ball is going to end up on the floor. This foot that's on the floor is going to end up on top of the ball. Let me show you. Jump and land. Jump and land. Now, of course, what we want to do is put that together a little bit quicker, like this. Now, if the ball moves around too much for you and you end up chasing the ball all over the place, all you need to do is get a towel, get a sweatshirt, wrap it around the ball so it stays stationary in one spot, and then you're good to go. For this next exercise, you're going to need a sturdy chair. If you don't have access to a sturdy chair, if all your chairs have like wheels on them or something, you can also use the steps if you have stairs in your house, or if you have like outside of my apartment, there's a little brick wall you can use that's about this high as well. That works perfectly too. What we're going to do is exercise the muscles on the back of our upper arms called the triceps. To do that, we're going to do some triceps chair dips. And here's how it works. You're simply going to sit down on your chair, place your hands at the edge of the chair. Make sure your fingers are facing forward. We don't want to be off to the side like this. That's going to put a lot of pressure on our wrists. We don't want our wrists going backwards like this. So make sure your fingers are pointed forward. Grab the bench and then scoot your backside just off the edge of the bench. Keep your back straight. Bend your elbows. And then press back up through your triceps to get back to the top. Here's the great thing about this exercise. You can control the difficulty. If it's really difficult for me, if I just move my feet closer towards me, it makes this exercise much easier. If I want more of a challenge, I move my feet as far as I can, do the same movement, and it's a lot more difficult. One word of caution, when you do this exercise, please make sure you bend your elbows. If you don't bend your elbows, all the strain is going to come right up here into your shoulders, and that's going to hurt really bad. So instead, make sure the elbows bend, and don't shrug the shoulders like that, because that's where you're going to get some pain. Nice elbow bend, straight back up. Do that for 25 seconds. This next exercise is going to work the lower abdominals. When we do traditional sit-ups, we mostly work the upper abdominals, which is great, but we typically ignore the lower abdominals. So what we want to make sure that we do is have an exercise that targets that group that's not worked very often. And what we're going to do are some flutter kicks, and here's how we do that. I'm going to lay down here on my yoga mat on my back. When I do this, it's really important again that I don't have this tilt down here in my pelvis. If there's too much room underneath my lower back, that means I need to use my lower abs to push that part of my back towards the ground. So I don't want to be here. Instead, I want to be here and use those abs to press into the floor. Once I do that, I can put my hands by my side, point my toes forward, make sure I don't bend my knees, bring these off the ground, and quick, short, tight flutter kicks as quickly as I can. And I'm going to try to do that for the entire 25 seconds. If I can't, no big deal. I stop, I rest for 3 or 4 seconds, and then get right back to it. If it's really hard for you to maintain contact with the ground right here at your back, take your hands, make a little diamond shape, put it right underneath your hips. You can do the exact same thing, and it makes it just a little bit easier. And lastly, for our 10th exercise in the circuit, we're going to do some lunges. These lunges are going to target the gluteal group of muscles, which is basically your backside. In order to do that, I'm going to take a big step forward. I'm going to make sure that I bend my front knee and my back knee. But really, really important, don't let this front knee go past your toes. If you get into a position like this, that's really tough on that knee joint. We don't want you to have any knee pain. So make sure we're bending this knee and the back knee. Keep my back straight. Come down to here. That back knee is going to barely touch the ground, and then push your way back up. You can either push back here, or as you go to lunge, you can move that back foot forward and stay right here. Your choice. But please make sure that for the first 25 seconds that you actually work one side, and then after your 10-second break, you turn and you work the other leg for the second 25 seconds. Please note how I'm not leaning forward every time, but I'm keeping this back nice and straight, a neutral spine position. That way I'm targeting this area right here and making sure I'm not hurting any other parts of my body. So that's it, that's the circuit. You've gone through all 10 exercises. I want to tell you about timing the circuit because it's probably sort of a bummer to have a stopwatch with you and starting and stopping and looking at the watch all the time. There's a lot of different apps that you can get that will actually time the circuit for you. There's also a free website called intervaltimer.com. If you go to intervaltimer.com, you can select at the top, there'll be a drop-down menu, you select circuit trainer, and you can actually set up the circuit. You put in the names of the exercises, you type in how many seconds you want to do each interval. For us, it was 25 seconds. How long you want to break between sets. For us, it was 10 seconds. And how long of a break you want between exercises, which for us was 30 seconds. Now, all those numbers can be changed based on your fitness level. If you felt like that was a little bit too difficult, no problem. Don't go 25 seconds, maybe 15 seconds. Maybe you need a longer break. Take a 60-second break. That's the great thing about circuit training. It's customizable to your fitness needs, which is really outstanding. But whatever it is that you want to do, make sure that you do it to the best of your ability. Try your hardest. However many seconds you want to use, that's fine. You do you. And lastly, I always tell my students, if you ever feel dizzy, nauseous, or lightheaded, that's an indication from your body that you need to shut it down. Don't be a hero, take a break, get a drink of water, and try it again later. Do the best that you can. I always tell my students this as well. You only get out of it what you put into it. Have a great workout, have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt, for showing us how to get a full body workout at home, and you can use whatever you have, and I think that's what's really important here. So, on behalf of everyone here at the FSD Studios, I'm Mark Sonny, and this is FSD TV.